I'm now going to show you how we can turn 5/8 into a decimal. And I've written 5/8 on the side here and the division symbol because this will give you a clue of why we're dividing. So this line here looks a little bit like our division symbol, and the two dots represent two numbers. So we are simply dividing 5 into 8. And I've set up my bus stop method here ready to go because that is how you turn a fraction into a decimal. You are simply going to divide the top number into the bottom number. So our dividend is 8 and our divisor is 5. And the divisor always goes in the bus stop and the dividend goes on the outside. So I'm now going to ask myself, how many groups of 8 can I make out of 5? Well, I always like to put the multiples of the dividend on the side because then if you don't know your times tables very quickly, at least you can refer to them on the side. So let's look at the multiples of 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. We've got 56, 64, 72, we've got 80, we've got 88, and we've got 12 times 8, which equals 96. So this is quite a handy little guide to have to refer to. So my first question is, how many groups of 8 can I make out of 5? Well, I can't make any, so I'm going to have to put a 0. You might be thinking, but I've got no more digits left after the 5, so what do I do next? Well, you need to put a decimal in your answer bar and a decimal in the bus stop with your question. And with a decimal goes a 0. However, we don't put the 0 here because we're going to do something in this section. Now I'm going to ask myself again, how many groups of 8 can I now make out of 50? So we're now going to join these two up to make a new number. So we're going to make 50. So I'm going to go to my multiples of 8. What's the closest number I can get to 50? Well, 48 is the closest. So how many groups is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to put a 6 down because that's the closest I can get to 50. Now I've got 2 left over, so I'm now going to put my remainder here. And I've got a 2, but I can't do anything with that, so I'm going to attach to it a 0. I'm going to ask the question again, how many groups of 8 go into 20? So let's have a look. 1, 2. So I can make 2 definite groups. I can't do 24 because that would go over, so we need to go 1 less. So how many have I got left over from 16 to make 20? Well, I've got 4 left over. I'm going to put a 4. Can't do anything with that little 4 at the moment, so I'm going to attach a 0 to it to make 40. Let's go back to my multiples. How many groups of 8 can I make out of 40? Well, I know that 8 times 5 equals 40. So I know I can make 5 groups. And there we have it. So 5/8 into a decimal is 0.625. So let's write that out. So 5/8 as a decimal is 0.625. And that is your answer. So just as a quick recap, you need to set up a bus stop method, write your multiples of the dividend, and then you can carry out as normal your short multiplications.